Welcome back, guys. So glad you're here. In today's video, we're going to make this super cute Easter bunny wreath, and we're going to use burlap and use the pull-through method using a Dollar Tree wreath frame. These are the supplies we're going to use, and that mask isn't just accidentally there. If you're using burlap, I highly recommend that you use a mask. Like I said, it doesn't help when spray painting or maybe using the wood burner, but when it's particle based like the burlap, when you pull it through, absolutely it helps. So safety, 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 please. First, we just gather up a little end of our burlap, use a zip tie, and we're going to attach it to the frame. And yes, you can absolutely use pipe cleaners here, and typically I do. But now that lately I've been using using zip ties, they're just so easy. And you just get started with going from one side to the other. You pull through, make a loop. And if you do about a 3 or 4 inch loop, you can usually just use 2 rolls of the burlap. Now this burlap I did get at Walmart 2 Christmases ago, because I watched it. They had a ton of it, cases and cases after Christmas. And so it was originally, I think, $3.75. And so I was watching it and it went down to $2.50 and there were still cases left. So I bought a few rolls. And then when they finally went down to $1, I bought everything else they had. And I've been making burlap wreaths for years. But yeah, you just pull through each little section. I usually get 4 loops in each ring, we'll say. So 4 times 3 is 12, so there's 12 loops in each section. If that doesn't make sense, then say in the comments that it didn't make sense, and I'll try to explain it. But yeah, there's 3 loops and then 4 sets of 3 loops. And then when you're going to attach them, like a lot of people will attach the end of this one to the wreath form and then attach the new roll to the wreath form. I just take and put the 2 ends together, overlap them a couple of inches, kind of scrunch them up there, and put a zip tie. And I'll show you later on in the video, it shows you where you can't even see it, and you can usually position them to where they're at the back side of the frame. And if not, this is a very forgiving wreath, so you can just pull the loops shorter or longer as needed, because once they're all together, you just don't see it. You can, in my case, I'll zoom in on the problems or things like that may be an issue, but then once it's all put together and you see the big picture, you don't pay attention to those little things anymore. So you just do that, leave it at the back, and start pulling through again. And I don't worry too much about the shape. I don't twist. I don't do anything. I always throw that roll in the floor and then just pull it as needed. But yeah, I just pull through. I don't put a lot of effort on any of it, because right here is when I go back and just unfold any of the loops, turn them the way I want them to go, and then it's super full. I love this particular method because you get a really good base. And being so neutral, you can add whatever you want. I mean, it's just limitless. I do them for Valentine's, I do them for fall, I do them clearly for Easter. I think it's great with this little bunny trio I get from Hobby Lobby. And then you can just decorate them any way you want. Now, I always put a hanger on here. Some people won't use that hanger when they put it on their door, but I have to do it to put it on my tripod or my painting easel. And then I just loop it around. I usually try to do it at a crossbar and then just wrap the ends so that it's nice and secure. And then we're going to put the bunny trio sign on here, but I have a video that shows you how to upgrade a Dollar Tree sign, but I'm going to tell you, you should upgrade just about any sign you buy. And in fact, the video I'm doing next is an upgraded sign as well. But anytime you buy a store-bought sign, there are improvements you can make, things you can do to really upgrade it. And this is actually from my stash. You guys, if you saw my video on how to set goals and clean up my messy craft room, this is why. I have so much stuff in my stash. It's crazy. And this one, I show you here, it's from 2020, Easter last year, and I'm just getting to it. Hopefully, I'll get to that update on my craft room here pretty soon. In fact, if you've watched several of my videos, you can see that the background looks a little cleaner now than it usually does. Usually there's always stuff just in the back on some shelves, just clutter, but it's getting better. Now here you can see this bow. Please never leave stuff like this on your pieces. I mean, this bow is awful. So we're going to pop it off of there, and we're going to make our own bow to put on there. We use this little polka dot, so cute, the burlap with the polka dots, and that comes from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use that to kind of put in the center and use that for my bow, but I like to cut the wires off first. That way it wraps around the bow a lot better. But it's super cute. I use that ribbon a lot. When you can find it. Sometimes it's hard to find at Dollar Tree. Imagine that. Something's hard to find at the Dollar Tree. And then we just hot glue it on. Again, that burlap just really offsets with those rustic bunnies. So cute. Now I'm going to put the pipe cleaners on the back of my sign. And like I said, this is something, I do this for all my signs when I'm going to put them on there, but I want to show you because that way if you haven't seen a video before, you'll know. I take the duct tape and wrap the pipe cleaners around it so I get the right size. And while I've been watching some videos lately, I see some people use little squares, and they have a little ring on them, and they attach that to the sign and then put wire through the ring. I'm not sure about that yet because I need to look into it, and then I'll let you guys know, because that might be more expensive. I mean, this particular method costs about 2 cents. And, you know, I'm cheap. I've mentioned it. I'm going to try to stop mentioning that. But, you know, if I can do something for a few cents that would cost me a few dollars or a couple of dollars, then I'm just going to do the few cents method, as long as it works. And this does work. It works really well. In Texas, when it gets to be 100, 110, and that hot glue softens, the duct tape won't release, so it'll just hold it in place until the glue hardens back up. But be real careful. Hot glue is hot. Imagine that. So use your tools so that you don't burn yourself. And now she's ready to go on the sign, or the wreath. Now just attach it to the wreath. And I show you here where you can barely see that zip tie where I put the two pieces together, or the two rolls of burlap. And these ribbons are from Michael's. I got them after Christmas. They're cut at 11 inches, and then they're dovetailed on each end. When I put a sign in the middle of a wreath, I like to just put ribbons around the outer part there, and I don't typically do a big bow. If I do a smaller sign on one side or the other, then I'll do a big bow. But in this case, with a sign in the middle like that, I feel like a bow would take away from the sign. And this sign isn't overly huge, so it could have gone down like on the lower right corner, and then a bow up at the top left, something like that. But these ribbons I chose because I was playing off of the welcome here, because it's black and gold. And then I just kind of stayed with the natural tones. But I do add in some Easter eggs for some pops of color here in a little bit. And I did use pipe cleaners to just twist in the center of the ribbons. And then I used those pipe cleaners to attach the ribbons to the wreath frame. Once upon a time, I used hot glue and attached them. But hot glue really, it just tends to be messy. You can burn yourself more easily, so I just found it easier to just attach them with the pipe cleaner. And now they're all attached, and you can see I'm starting to put in some of the glittery Easter eggs. And I'll also add in some burlap carrots that are super cute. But I will take this opportunity to say thank you for watching. And I have a video coming up right after this one. I'm going to be doing the voiceover, and I'll probably upload them both at the same time. And I'll say, be ready, because it's going to be a cute one. And I do an upgrade on the sign on that one as well. And I'm going to finish this one up with just putting in these little carrots, and I do just hot glue those in. I hot glue those and the Easter eggs. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. As I always say, I'm amazed at how fast the channel is growing, and that's thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. And I am going to do a thank you and a milestone, because we're about to reach a milestone for the channel. But until then, maybe catch one of these other videos. I'll catch you on the next one.